G'day, my name's Millar McElrea. I'm a sprinter from Milton, South Otago, New Zealand. I specialise in the 400 metres, so I guess 100 to 400, and I'm currently competing over at the NCAA in America. Going back to Milton, my upbringing, I guess I always just played rugby, footy, down at the local club for Toko. I guess I was probably fortunate enough to grow a bit faster than everyone and always just that little bit faster. So my mum took me through to Taieri, where I went to a few club nights and sort of started to realise my potential, and from there my first coach, Kieran Fowler, sort of took me under his wing and I trained with him for quite a while until eventually started to pursue my dreams a bit more seriously. Gave up rugby, hockey, touch and all that just to actually, I guess, pursue the dream, and now it's led me overseas to America, where I'm currently doing pretty decently in the NCAA circuit. Yeah, I guess I started competing in New Zealand pretty young and slowly got through the grades. And then obviously you go to nationals, and I guess I'd just sort of taken it pretty cruisy. But then I'd done reasonably well at the national level, and from there I guess selectors from the States messaged and they're like, oh, we see a bit of potential in you, and from there I guess it just evolves, and I pursued it and thought, oh, that seems pretty cool, going overseas, covering my university. Probably the biggest difference in training compared to home and over in the States is just having a big team behind you. You go over there, you're essentially being paid to be an athlete. It's as close to pro as you can get. You've got, I think my school I'm at, you've got about 40 sprints and jumps people. So you're training with 40 others, men and women, who want to be there, are committed, and everyone actually is at that next level. And you've got multiple coaches helping you along the way, which is easy when they've just, the sheer amount of money over there is ridiculous, and I guess where I am it's pretty warm, so when you're in 30 plus weather day in day out, it makes it a lot easier than when you're having to suffer through a Dunedin winter. Yeah, I got some pretty big goals, obviously trying to achieve All-American, go to NCAA Nationals, which only the top of the top sort of get to. I guess to stay locked in, it's just you've got your goal. Athletics being a pretty individual sport, it's pretty hard, but you've just got to think about the end result and take each day as it comes. That's what I find. And you sort of, I mean, it's cliche, but you fall in love with the process. Each day you go out and train, you just get 1% better, and that's what I've just really grown to love. It's pretty hard, it's a grind sometimes, especially over winter. You're training by yourself, but I guess you've just got to think about the end goal and do the work to get there, because you get found out pretty quickly if you don't. Mentally approaching a 400 metres is pretty daunting. Even if you're training 3-4 times a week doing pretty hard workouts, you don't necessarily get nervous for them, but as soon as it comes to the race, every single time without fail, I'm almost, well, I won't say it, but shitting myself before the race. So yeah, I guess you just got to visualise the start. That's what I do. I visualise the whole race in its entirety, think about how many training sessions I've put forward in the last 6 to 8 months, and I've done the work. I'm there for a reason. I just got to trust myself. Admittedly, I'll say this now, it's pretty hard to do, but you get better at it. I ran a lot more 400s this last season than I've ever done in a season, probably more than I've ever done in my life. So I noticed throughout the season, as I ran them, I got better. I trusted myself. I had my race plan down pat. I'm pretty cruisy when it comes to a routine before race day. I've found if I don't go on my phone within the late 3-4 hours before my race, it just helps me lock in, stay in the zone. Probably 2 hours before, I'll have my music on, have a few drinks of Gatorade water, get the energy up, and then probably an hour out I do my warm-up, crank on my running playlist, which has got a few good tunes that I like, and then from there I always play the same song right before my race, and then I'm all the way ready to go, visualise my race, then I'm good.
What genre and what song?
I quite like pretty cruisy music, like not upbeat rap sort of stuff. Oh, what do I think? Probably get flamed for this. A bit of Ed Sheeran doesn't go astray. Yeah, I don't know, it just helps me relax and get in the zone, because I'm not real a hype man before my races. I like to just, like I say, get in the zone. I real like One Republic as well. My training at Compound's been pretty crucial over the past year. I guess it just helps. Running, you can run every day and you can get gains, but you've got to have the strength and conditioning. It comes behind it. You build up your muscles, then less injuries, which means you can stack days on top of days, and as you go along you're building strength and the injuries aren't coming, so it's just everything improves. And I just really like the atmosphere that Compound brings. Like I've probably said before, you feel like a bit of a dick doing some of your running exercises in any other gym, but when you get into Compound you see everyone else doing them and you fit right in, so that's my favourite part. Yeah, because I've been away the last half a year, sort of over in the States, or half a year to a year. Compound's been great. They've, I guess, provided me with clothes and nutrition and newsletters and stuff, helping with, I guess, training and all that sort of workload. Also, they did us out in these hoodies, which is pretty bloody awesome. And even though I'm over on the other side of the world, they're still there. If I ever need support, if I need messaging, like they could get strength and conditioning coaches or something for me, they're awesome. They're just willing to help whenever I need it with whatever I need. So I've moved over to the States. I'm currently in West Virginia, Charleston, West Virginia. So it's a pretty low-key sort of area, obviously being in West Virginia, but it's sort of central to the island, so I quite like it. You're a few hours away from New York, Chicago, Florida. So if you really want to do a bit of traveling, you're sort of centered, which is quite nice, not so isolated. The setup's pretty mean there compared to, not to shit on Dunedin, I guess, but it's hard, just the sheer level that's over there. You've got athletic trainers which can give you massages every day whenever you want, recovery boots, you've got your, I guess, ice baths, needling, massages, whatever you really want, which helps you stay in tip-top shape. If you have any injuries, they're the ones to go to. I guess we've got multiple coaches for our sprints and all that sort of stuff, which you're getting someone filming you, you're getting the right, well, I guess, technique work and all that sort of stuff, and someone's writing up a program for you. Had an awesome coach back here in New Zealand who I've mentioned earlier, but it's just another level, training with like-minded individuals, just the sheer amount of them and all that sort of stuff. It's like iron sharpens iron. Probably one of the biggest adjustments on and off the track since I've been over in the States is just being so far away from home. I know, like I say, it's pretty cliche to say you miss your parents, but I do miss my family, like my sister and my mum and my dad. Like, you're overseas on the other side of the world, you got a time difference, but luckily enough, because I was at boarding school, I was sort of a bit used to being away from them, so it was nice. I could adjust pretty quickly, and it's not that bad a time difference. I think 18 hours, but it works out so when it's my evening, it's midday here, so I can call my mum, and whenever I need her, I sort of just ring her up, which is pretty good. Yeah, I feel like my sprinting's hit another level since I've made the move overseas. Like I say, just the consistency I've been able to hit day in, day out. I haven't had any serious injuries, or touch wood, and yeah, there's none around. But yeah, just the consistency, it's allowed me to bank trainings, and then I've got better week in, week out, and I'm not behind. And now that I'm at my best, essentially, I'm able to just keep getting better. Yeah, my typical week schedule is pretty packed at the moment because I'm doing a biology and chemistry double major, so it can be pretty intense with all my classes, but luckily the university over there makes it pretty easy to balance both. I guess Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and then potentially Saturday, Sunday we're on the track. So Saturday, Sunday could be off days, so 4 days on the track, and then I'd say Monday and Wednesday we're doing gym work. Yeah, I guess my goals for this year with my US team, I've got some pretty hefty goals on my shoulders. I guess starting off pretty strong, I'll lay it out there. I want to be running 46, 47 in the 400, which will be taking about a second and a bit off my PB. I ran a few 49s indoor this last season, so I'd taken another couple of seconds off my PB since going over there. And indoor, they reckon you can run a bit faster. If you run that indoor, you should be able to run it faster outdoors. So I just need to put it over and get it done. And so from there, hopefully if I can bank a few more trainings, get even better, I should be knocking on that 46, 47 door. Apart from that, I guess I got my 100 and my 200. I want to get my speed up a lot better because I'm pretty naturally fit, which I'm very fortunate for. But I just need to work on my top end speed and getting that fast, which should obviously equate to a pretty good 400. And with the team, really, I'd love to be taking out conference titles. Obviously, if I could, I think it's top 16 or something in the nation gets to go to nationals, that would be pretty bloody awesome. And from there, if I'm running 46, 47, I'd love to be in that top 8, sort of all-American sort of spot. Long term, well, with my running, I'm not really too sure where I want to go. Because I've got my biology and chemistry, I'm pretty set on that. Obviously, sport, it comes first, but it also comes second because you don't know if you're going to be a professional anyway. So I guess I'll probably do my degree and see how far I can go with my sport. If I'm knocking on that 46, 45 door, that's getting me in pretty good contention for the World Unis, World Champs, Olympics. Obviously, Olympics is the final goal. I'd love to try and pursue that, and maybe 5-10 years down the track I could be. So I never really want to give it up. I guess I've got Oceanias and, like I say, Pacific Games and World Unis are sort of my next stepping stones. So if I can keep building, and if I can, probably what I'm targeting this season will hopefully put me in good stead for Oceanias, and then I don't know how often it is, but whether it's next year or the year after, and then maybe 2-3 years time, I'm not sure when World Unis are, but try and target that. So if I can just keep on taking half seconds off my 400, I think I'll be in a pretty good position, especially where I am now. Probably success for me this year is being that bit older, that step up, I understand what I'm going through and I can help build others up, and also in myself, believe in myself, trust myself. It's obviously, I say everything's cliche, but that's the truth really. My advice to younger athletes chasing big goals from smaller towns like old Milton, I guess you just gotta give it a crack. Don't be afraid. That's my thing, is I was always like, oh, what if I'm not good? What if I'm not gonna be the best? But you never know until you try. And you just got to stay consistent. That's the thing. Show up every day and do your recovery. Recovery is important. That's one thing that I've learned over this last bit. I was always injured, getting little niggles, not injuries, but just little niggles. And now that I've actually started doing my recovery, man, so much better in the long run. A few people in my corner who I'd love to give a shout out to. I guess I got to start with my mum. She's been my rock really. Have some pretty bad days. Like you come back from the track, you're like, oh, that was a pretty terrible workout. Oh, I suck. Oh, I'll hurt my ankle. And she's just always like, nah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You're overthinking it. 9 times out of 10, I am. So yeah, she has been my rock. Obviously, like I think my dad and my sister, they've also been there for me as well. Day in, day out, I could always call on them. And obviously, Kieran Fowler, he was my first athletics coach. Awesome, he's like my second dad almost. Just got me to the track. I'd see him pretty much every day. Haven't actually seen him for a while, but he got me into it. He's grown the love for the sport for me. And then I'd obviously just love to thank my current coaches, Coach Arthur, Coach Barr over in the States. They're the ones who took a punt on me, a bit of a gamble. I wasn't really that great going in, but I'd like to say I've proved them wrong and done some pretty good things, and hope to keep in the long run. Take down some school records and all that. So yeah, cheers to everyone who's just backed me, and obviously Compound Gym. I was pretty unknown when I first got sponsored by them, so it's been awesome having them in my back pocket.
Thanks for watching the video. New videos are out every Wednesday. Click here to watch last week's video, and click here to subscribe now.